Okay, we saw how the sound is formed in our vocal cord, right? Okay, first what we have studied how the sound is formed in the nature. There are four different ways: collision, separation, and vibration, and then the last will be the friction. Okay, and now just before we saw how the sound is produced in our throat. It is because of the vocal cords. Okay, keep in mind it is an important thing that we need in our way. It is called vocal cords. Vocal cords is the thing that is producing the sound. When the air from the lungs passes through it, it will vibrate, producing the sound. Now, how do we hear the sound? The sound now it has been produced. Okay, now how will we hear? In the around us, the sound forms will travel in a vibrating manner. This vibration will come to our ears, it will enter our ears, and there is a structure called eardrum at the entrance. Okay, it is not entrance, a little bit down from the hole of the ear, there is the eardrum. Okay, just like drum, it will beat. There also the vibration will happen, and thus we don't need that much we don't need to go into the detail of that subject. Just keep in mind it will travel in the vibration, and we will hear the sound from the action of the impulse and all. Okay, inshallah. So we are coming back. Why did we studied all these things? Because we are studying the Tajweed. What is Tajweed? Tajweed is the science of sound. Tajweed is the science of sound. So we have to know how the sound is forming, what are the mechanism of sound, and we have to know how to apply this in our subject also, inshallah. Okay, in the Quran, okay, we can find a letter in four different ways, or five. Okay, five is an addition. Anyways, we will say four or five. Okay, which are the condition? For example, if I am taking the letter meme, the meme fatha we can see in the Quran, meme kasra we can see in the Quran, meme dhamma we can see, meme sukun we will see. The other two things, meme mushaddad you might know, but the lean we will discuss very later. Okay, so mutaharrika, there are two raw. Okay, spelling error is there. So متحركة يعني the meme can be فتحة كسرة أو ضمة. حركة the letter having a حركة is called a متحركة. The letter having a sukun is called a sakin. So these are the four or five ways we can see a letter in the Quran. So why we are studied the mechanism of the physics and the science is because we need to study how the sound is formed in these four situations. Okay, we will go one by one. Formation of Arabic letters except alif. Okay, we will do the sakin. The first thing we are going to discuss is the sakin letter. Sakin yani, what is it? Sakin, a letter having a sukun. A letter having a sukun is called sakin, and we are going to study how the mechanism of sakin is happening. Mechanism is collision. What is collision? We have already discussed. There will be two parts. The two parts has to collide together to make the sound of the sakin. Okay, there are two mechanism is happening here. What is it? The two articulate, first is the collision. Okay, let me check. Yeah, the mechanism is the collision. What is collision? Collision is the coming together of the two articulating parts, that also with strong force. You have to collide strongly. Okay, then only the sound. See, if I join my one hand with one hand very slowly, okay, will you hear any sound? Of course the sound will be very less. Okay, but if I join very strongly, the sound will be little bit more strong. Okay, so one part will collide with the another to make the sakin sound. Okay, the mechanism is collision. Okay, let me take my pen. Okay, okay, see, sorry. Here, if we check here, sorry. Yeah. Okay. If we check here, this is the articulation point of meme. I have already explained that the makhraj of the meme is the closing of the two lips. If you check here, see, the lips are closed condition, right? If you check the arrows here, it is coming one from here to here and another from here to here. That means it is closing at a common point. That means one part has to come down and both have to join together. I just want to show the direction of the arrow here so that it will be easy for you. See, the arrow is here, right? So this is the collision, so that the meme sukoon will happen. Okay, what is the makhraj? The makhraj is the two lips have to join, and that is the mechanism, is the collision happening here. I will take another letter, the fa. Okay, the fa I can happen. It will happen only if I touch my bottom edge of the upper incisors with the inner wet side of my lower lip. Okay, f, right? So that means for a sukoon to happen, I have to collide the two articulating parts. Okay, I have already told that for a sound to happen, there should be two parts. Okay, for the collision, these two parts has to come together. For the meme, it was the two lips, the upper lip and the lower lip. But for the fa, it was my teeth was the upper lip, the bottom edges of the teeth, upper incisors was the one part, and the inner wet area of my lower lip was the another side. Both these will collide and I produce the sound f, f, f. Okay, alhamdulillah. So this is the mechanism of the sukoon. And now we will move to mutaharrika. Mutaharrika, I have already told that it will be in three conditions. What are they? It can be having with fatha, it can be having with dhamma, it can be having with kasra. Okay, we will go one by one. Fatha. For a fatha to happen, the two mechanism should not two mechanism. Yeah, two. It's not the mechanism of the sound formation. It is the mechanism of the opening and out. Okay, so I will say two conditions will happening here. For a fatha to happen, two conditions will work simultaneously. Okay, even though we are separating it as one and one, but it will happen almost simultaneously. Okay, what is that? The first one is the separation. That means for a fatha, so the fatha means a letter having fatha. Okay, if the letter, I will take the letter meme because it is very easy for me to convey the thing, because the makhraj, it is visible from the outer side, right? So if I am taking the letter meme fatha, okay, first condition is that the meme, it should be having with a strong bonding. Okay, the meme makhraj should have a tight bonding at first. Okay, remember the word forcefully in the mechanism of the separation. Okay, the sound will happen, the proper sound we will get only if we separate the articulating parts forcefully. So here, if we have to make the sound of the meme, the articulating the two lips of the meme should be firstly tightly, it first should be in tight bonding. Okay, then I have to separate okay, it is an exaggerated sound, but it won't happen. But I just want to show my separation of the two lips which was already in a tight bonding. That is the separation. And what is the next condition? The corresponding mouth opening. We will check one by one. The separation, it happens after a strong bonding, that I have already explained. And the second is the corresponding mouth opening, which happen along with the tongue shape. Okay, why the tongue shape I have mentioned here is because if I remember the green and the light letters in the huruf al-hijai, for the light letters and for the heavy letters, when it is having with the fatha, listen, there are two kind of letters, heavy letters and light letters, right? If these letters coming with a fatha, the second condition is corresponding mouth opening. It will change the tongue shape as to, if it is a heavy letter, different condition for the tongue or different shape for the tongue, and for if it is a light letter, different shape for the tongue. Okay, hope you understood. I will explain in detail. Okay, for example, if I am taking the letter ha, here it is the meme. Okay, anyways, if it is taking the letter kaf, or if it is letter sin, okay, they are light letters. Okay, corresponding little bit closer sound for the kaf is the qaf, but the qaf, it is more heavy, right? Kaf, it is very light. Okay, but what happens is that the tongue position will change as to it. Before that, I will explain how the mouth opening is happening. Okay, the first condition I said is the corresponding mouth opening, right? So what is how the corresponding mouth opening will happen? Listen, if in this first picture, in this first picture, if you check, the arrows are moving up, it is separating. Okay, earlier it was closing. For the meme sukoon, I will show on the board. Okay, if it is a meme sukoon, okay, meme sukoon, what will happen? If this is my first upper lip and this is my lower lip, both will come together. Okay, so this is the articulate makhraj of the meme sukoon. Okay, what will happen? The mechanism is collision. Okay, but what if it is meme fatha? If it is meme fatha, the articulating parts will separate. Okay, this is the makhraj. But what is the strong important thing here? This makhraj was in a tight bonding at first. Then I am separating. Then only I will get the proper sound of the fatha. So what is the mechanism here? It is the separation. Okay, hope you understood my point. See the direction of the arrows here. It is moving upside and one moving downside. There is gap between the lips also. Okay, alhamdulillah. Now we will move. So I want to explain how the mouth opening is happening. The mouth opening, it doesn't mean the opening of the makhraj. Yani, if I just take this example of the letter meme, and the letter meme, the articulating parts are the lips itself. So if I explain like the mouth opening, you might be confused whether the separation of the lips is the mouth opening I am mentioning. No, a big no. Okay, the mouth opening is a little bit different thing. What is the difference is here? The lips are not the mouth I am mentioning. Okay, the mouth opening is little bit different. Before that, I want to draw your attention which are the different kinds of mouth movement that you are familiar with. The first, we will just talk. Yeah, the talking. The talking, it will happen by mouth movement. You can see from outside itself. My lips are moving. My jaws, not jaws, the lower jaw is little bit moving. Okay. You can see my lips sometimes. Okay. You can see my tongue sometimes. It is kind of mouth opening while we are talking, right? And while we are eating food or we are chewing food, these are different kinds of mouth movements. And another, when we yawn, yeah, when we are making a yawn, our mouth will widely open so that someone can see all the inner side ones, unless if you cover our mouth with our hand, right? Okay, so these are the different scenarios where we can see how our mouth is opening. What is the mouth opening we need here to read the Quran? Is it need for the yawning opening, for the chewing opening, for the eating opening? No. Which one is need? We need the opening while we talk naturally. I strongly suggest you all to go in front of a mirror and check and just talk anything. Okay, what you want to just you talk some casual things. Okay, just watch how your mouth is moving. Okay, and before that, just keep your two fingers. Okay, and just keep in the in closer to the opening of your ears. Okay, there is a hole, our ear hole, okay, is there. Just in front you have to keep your two fingers. Okay, and then talk casually. Okay, just talk anything, and then you can feel at your fingers a small movement. Okay, a small movement you can feel at the tip of your fingers. And for at the lip, at the opening of your mouth, okay, you can't see any that much movement, but still different kinds of sound will be coming from your mouth. Okay, how is it happening, that we will discuss. So how is it happening? I want to show you a video. Before that, let me check. Okay, I will show in the next audio.